Okay, it's Sunday afternoon. I'm doing this revved up reflections thing for a Sunday night. This time I'm just talking about Magnetti Marelli ignition or fuel injection systems for Harleys. Uh, when they came out in '95, they sent us to a school or a regional class, and Philadelphia is where they had it. So, you booked a hotel room and you're only up there for like one day. It was just a one-day class. Regional would be like Maryland, Pennsylvania, Delaware, New Jersey, probably New York, maybe. Just that regional area. So I'm like, man, I'm not driving up there. So, well, I did drive up there. I took a demo bike and rode up there. Anyway, I get up there to Philadelphia, and it's before internet, so I had to write a map to where I was going. No smartphones, none of that crap, just old-fashioned way map. So had a general idea where it was. Well, I knew where Philadelphia was, but anyway, I get up there and pull up to the hotel, and it's in South Philly, so it's pretty nasty. Not pretty nasty, it was nasty. There's prostitutes walking up and down the street, drug dealers, whatever. It's a crappy neighborhood. So I pull in, go into the hotel, looking around, and I ask the guy, and make sure I'm at the right place. Yep, this is the place. We have a room already reserved. And I was like, man, I don't know about this. So I asked him, do you have secure parking at night? No. Okay, that's all I needed to know. So I got on the back bike and I asked him, is there any more hotels? He's like, yeah, if you just go down this road and you'll head down towards the airport, I guess Philadelphia, whatever their airport is called. And went down there and got a hotel room in a nice place that was actually cheaper than the hotel there in the nasty neighborhood of Philly. So I stayed there, got up the next morning, went back and did the fuel injection class. Anyway, I know you guys don't want to hear all that crap, but this is just me reflecting on stuff. So I go to do this class, and it's, I understand how fuel injection works. Blah, 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 it's this and that and this and that and the other thing. Yeah, I get it. Closed loop, open loop, whatever, blah, blah, blah. So go back, and the bikes run really hot. They run hotter now than they did before, but the first couple of years, especially the first year, things were super hot. We had sold a bunch of those 95s to Washington D.C. Police Department. I think we sold 50 bikes to them, or 100. So it was a lot of damn bikes for the inauguration in '96 of Bill Clinton, or not '95, whatever it was. And, anyway, we sold a bunch of these bikes to. It was '96. Sold a bunch of these bikes to D.C. Police Department, and they had them for just a little while and started having problems with them. And what happens is, with a fuel injected bike, if it overheats, it just keeps running. And dumping fuel to it, the hotter it gets because it's, or leaning it out, whatever. Anyway, it's going to keep running. So they keep running. And DC police have a tendency to sit there and let their bikes idle for a really long time. So anyway, before the inauguration, or after, I can't remember, it was right around the time of they had these bikes for like a month, maybe. It was before the inauguration. They had these bikes for like a month, maybe, and complaining about them not starting and making weird noises and all that crap. So, and 1 month, I rebuilt 20 of them, rebuilt 20 engines, pulled them apart, and rods were all blue. I mean, I pulled one apart and you couldn't even move the rods. The crank just moved like that. So crank rods were just as blue as could be. And it's from excessive heat from sitting there letting them idle. And, took them out and replaced 20 rod sets, or actually didn't replace 20. I replaced probably 10 and rebuilt 10, resized them on the Sun and Hone with new crank pins and all that crap. And it was a good time. I rebuilt 20 of them in a month. But further on, it's actually a friend of mine who's deceased now. He's been working for Harley, higher up in Harley for, since the 60s. And we were talking, and what he was telling me is that Harley didn't, Magnetti Marelli didn't design that system. Harley wanted to design it. And, Magnetti Marelli's telling him, no, you don't want to do that. You don't want to do that. You want to do it this way. But, they're a vendor, so of course they want to sell products. So they're gonna do it however Harley wants. So, Harley won out. They got their design, and it's a crappy design. Intake runners are entirely too small. So any kind of performance is kind of negated on those things. Not kind of, it is negated. I remember I had a kit for 80-inch Evos that pretty regularly on a carbureted bike I could get 85, 90, up to 95 horsepower out of an 80-inch Evo on a consistent basis. That's not a one-off. That's cam, pistons, headwork, valves, bigger intake valves, and machine them in there, and everything's cool with it. But fuel injected bikes, just figure 10 horsepower less. And that's the way it is. Although a couple of times I did use some, I think Horsepower Inc. throttle bodies. They made an elliptical throttle body to replace the Harley unit, using the same ECM and all that crap, and then you use the overlay from Power Commander on there, and that actually worked pretty damn good with that Horsepower Inc. induction module with the elliptical one. I don't even know if they still make it, but you're still running everything else, the idle speed controller and all that crap, which I don't think you can get anymore from them. I did do one on twin cam 99, I think, FLTR. Guy had somebody had done a bunch of work to it. They did the heads and cams and all this other crap. And that thing only made like 89 horsepower, 89, 90, right around that, out of a 95-incher, because it had them little teeny intake runners on there. And guy kept bringing it, he brought it to me, and he's like, man, is there anything you can do with that? I was like, yeah, I think we can. So ended up putting a Horsepower Inc. elliptical throttle body on there, and it went from basically like 90 up to 110. So 20 horsepower difference. I was just pleased as punch. And didn't do anything else. Actually, I did, after we got those numbers, I had, the power was, I rode the bike. He dynoed it, and I rode it. And I wasn't really happy with the way that power came on. It was like it's too late. So he didn't know what cams were in there. I pulled the cam cover off and looked what cams he had in there, whoever put the cams in there, and ended up advancing the cam timing 4 degrees. It's got one of the little crane advanced retard gears. You put it in one way, it's retarded 4 degrees, and you put it in the other, and it's advanced 4 degrees. And put that in there so that, you bring the power down to an acceptable level. On those those big bikes like that, you want the intake opening closer to top dead center. I think 15, 16 degrees, somewhere in that range, intake opening. And the cam you had in there, it was 20, 21 degrees intake opening. That's okay for a light bike, but something big and heavy like that, you want a little bit power to come in a little bit lower. Anyway, they are actually pretty good systems in stock form. I've got a guy local here that I've been working on his bike for one of his bikes for 25 years, basically. He's got a 99 Road King with Magnetti Marelli system on it. And he just called me the other day and wants to know if I'll start servicing his bike again, because I've been, I had health problems and wasn't able to do shit. So I was like, yeah, but he's like, man, I had to rebuild the motor on it. Probably, when did I do that? I did it before I had a stroke, so probably 2011, 12, 13, somewhere in there. Rebuilt it, had to put a new crank in it, a new cam plate, and oil pump, all that crap. So basically rebuilt the engine at like 107,000 miles, and he's got 150-something thousand on there now. Because the crank, you could pull it and ran a dial indicator on it, and cranks, it's doing this, of course. It's just all out of whack. But if you keep the throttle position sensor adjusted, because they are adjustable and they do need to adjust tweaking now and then, keep the throttle position sensor adjusted, and there's a certain steps to setting the idle on it. You got a little T10 screw down there in the induction module. You adjust that. But also, too, after you're done adjusting it, you need to check the cold aisle. So with it not completely hot, turn the key off, let the idle speed controller reset like it's cold, and then unplug it, fire it up, and see what that'll be cold idle right there. So see what it's idling at. It should be 1,500 RPM. If it isn't, you can adjust it, plug it back in, turn it on, let the arm reset on the idle speed control, and then unplug it, turn it off, and then unplug it again, then fire it back up. And you just keep doing that until you get it at 1,500 RPM. A common thing with those Magnetti Marellis is, you go to set them, and guy will be like, man, it won't start, it won't start, it won't start. Or I have to hold the throttle open to get it to start. It's idle speed controller being off, with the idle being off. And if both of those are off, it's going to be hard to start, and then you're going to want to idle. So after you've done all the settings on it, if you turn the bike off, pull the ECM fuse, let it sit for like a half hour before you plug it back in. I don't know how we came up with that. We just did after setting them for several years, the way they tell you to in the book. I called somebody at Harley, somebody I knew that worked in tech services up there, and they didn't really know either. They're like, just off the cuff, he said, man, try leaving the EC, because at first they told you unplug it for at least 30 seconds. And then this guy said, man, I don't know, keep leaving it unplugged for longer. So I think I tried it at 10 minutes, and it was the same thing. I ended up checking it at 20 minutes, and then ended up that 30 minutes was the magical key to it. But that's about it for Magnetti Marelli. Magnetti Marelli, it's a big company. They have a plant here in North Carolina, over in Sanford somewhere. I don't know what they make over there, but pretty big place. And they are out of Italy, but so what? They make fuel injection for all kinds of stuff over there. I think they used to make them for Ducati too, and probably several other ones. I don't know who makes them now, but big company. And then Harley, of course, switched to Delphi and 01 or 02, right around there somewhere, which much better system, a lot better. And it's, you know, it's made by GM, but GM supplies, or Delphi, which is GM. You know, they used to make the cruise control module for Harley too, which it looks like the Harley cruise control module. It actually looks like it came out of like one of them little GM cars that had cruise control, like out of a Pontiac T1000 or similar, probably Cavalier, similar cars to that. Little compact unit about that big. And those things work great compared to the old system. Anyway, I'm getting off topic here. Thanks for watching. That's it for fuel injection. Just like to thank my buddy Bob, who's been dead for, I don't know, 7, 8, 9 years now, probably 7 years. And nobody informed me that he had passed away until years later, until here recently. Good guy, man. It's very knowledgeable. Worked for the racing department at Harley. He actually, flipping back to Philly, he's actually from Philly. Started off working at a Harley dealer in Philly in the 50s. Mid 50s at some time, or late 50s. Maybe, I want to say 57 is what he told me. That was his first job at a Harley dealer. He was like 16 or 17 years old, something like that. But miss you, bud. And really, that's it for this one. Appreciate anybody watching. If you have any ideas for this Sunday night gig, anything you'd like to hear, just shoot me a line. Drop a comment, whatever. Let me know. Appreciate it. Anyway, you guys have a fantastic week. And obviously, we didn't make it to Rockingham this weekend. Boy had a gig. He's in a band and had a gig Friday night and didn't get home till like 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. And, you know, he works full time and goes to school full time, so just let him sleep. And, you know, we can always go next time. But would have been nice to get some footage down there. It was a beautiful damn day out. You know, high 70s, low 80s, no rain, low humidity. Would have been a great day of racing, but oh well, next time. Anyway, you guys take care. Have a great week. Appreciate it. Thank you.